Hello everyone. Today's subject is drawing legs, girl legs specifically. So let's start. We'll start simple and make a simple frontal drawings, and then we'll make something a little more complex. Let's draw a vertical line like this. Yeah, I cheated and rotated the canvas. In general, I like to rotate it a lot. Please write if it becomes too confusing. So what we have here is a very simple square-like form, and from that point we bisect the line like this. Now this form, it's good to find these points, and those are the parts of the iliac crest that can be seen on the person, little bits of bone sticking out. And then we're drawing a half circle like this. And then we can add a trapezius-like form here to imply the pubic bone. Now we can simply, using straight lines, create the general form of the thigh, knowing that we have this situation here. So we have the bones of the pelvis, and then here we have the greater trochanter of the femur sticking out. And because of this we have a bump here and a bump here. And in case of the female leg, of the girl legs, we have a stronger angle here, so this bump is bigger and the pelvis is wider, so in general we have a form that looks like a trapeze. Now let's hide the bones, and at the point where we have the lower part of the leg beginning, let's just draw circles like this. And then add the rest of the leg just by using a line first and then creating a silhouette. And the silhouette in general goes like this: wider here, thinner here, wider here, a little bit thinner here. And now we can add a more specific line, a more detailed line. Yet still we remain in the silhouette for now. Now we can use this guideline to connect the iliac crest bone with the knee, creating our sartorius muscle. Of course it won't be very visible, but we need it to organize the silhouette and to connect the forms together. So we have one leg here, and let's add another one. This time we just repeat the process. Now we need some feet. So we go like this. We show lower part of the fibula and lower part of the tibia, and we should remember that the line is tilted. Fibula goes lower than the tibia. And now we can add a form that goes like this. And it's sharpened like this. So this form is a trapeze that then has another trapeze added at its end. So this part will be thumb, and this part will be little toe. Now we can return to the other leg and define its silhouette. Once again, we're adding sartorius muscle. And the adductors. Pelvis here. And let's create a section of the abdominal area. Cleaning it up. Defining the gastrocnemius. Once again, we're still doing silhouette. We're still not detailing the form inside. We need a good looking silhouette first. And there it is, the basic form. Now we can use these lines, these sections, to show what this form is like. And of course we have the knee here. In this simplified version of the form, we'll add the patella as a form like this. It will have sides, side faces like this, and then we will have these circular attachments, but of course they need to be asymmetric. In this way we deal with the tendons and the quadricep. Now let's define the tibia. And we have a form like this. Projecting the points in order to go faster, and creating the other simplified form. And there we have it, a pair of simplified legs. Now we'll make another drawing. This time it will be just a little bit more complex, and we will also have a pose this time. Again, we start by defining pelvis. The pelvis, here it is. Now, because the pelvis is tilted, the knees won't be on the same level. One knee will go lower, one will go higher. And the center of mass can be defined with a line, much like the line we drew in the previous drawing. Again, it's good to show the end of our line and the middle. Now we can go into more detail. Let's create a form like this. Neither a rectangle nor a circle. This form has a little bit of both. And now we continue beyond the form and create the iliac crest form. And go down. This will require some basic ability to handle the perspective, but the general idea is these lines are parallel in perspective, as in they go towards the same vanishing point, or you can just make them parallel. It won't hurt. And now we add a middle line like this. And the pubic bone. First, we just create simple silhouette like this. you can see the same directions of the lines we used here. And like this, we show the foot that can be seen from the side. We'll define its form later, but for now we got most of our modules, and let's define them and create a better silhouette. The tibia will go like this in S line, S curve, and we show a part of tibia protruding from the surface like this. Of course, we're adding a sphere as a base of our knee model, and now we bisect the sphere like this with a section. This allows us to divide the form into upper part and lower part. Here, the direction of the solid line changed, which means that the lighting conditions will change as well, so we're creating this part. It's useful in general to create models of spheres like this that have a section here and a section here. So they have a direction, like a Death Star. And this is that direction, but instead of a circle, we're drawing a form that looks like this, which will be our patella. And this line I just added divides the upper part of gastrocnemius and the lower part of gastrocnemius muscle. Now let's add sartorius muscle. It inserts here and its origin point is here on the iliac crest, so it goes like this. We don't need it in detail, but it will allow us to create a form that goes inside here and goes wider at the adductor longus. Abductor, sorry. So first we have the form of tibia that goes like this, and then when we're adding gastrocnemius in this view, we can add the line like this, and then it starts here, and we're just adding an oval that is tilted. So this is our oval shape, and it will give us what we need. No. Soleus, gastrocnemius, soleus, gastrocnemius. There we have it. Now let's add a knee. Again, we need a sphere here. There it is. And the line that divides it. There it is. Now, let's add the patella. And on top of it, we're adding some tendon tissue and the muscles on the side of the quadricep, the medial and the lateral muscle. The medial here, the lateral here, the medial goes down and the lateral attaches a little higher here. We also have tendons attaching here and fat. This leg has all the weight on it in this pose, and because of this it's compressed. The fat underneath is compressed and sticks out, as well as the form of the tibia tuberosity here. So we have a form like this. Fibula sticking out here. It is a little bit late to remind of this, but in these streams you're supposed to draw along. Repeat my movement, because this is the main way to learn drawing from tutorials like this. Now this is the light on top of the patella. We divide the patella into the lighted area on top of it and the shaded front, and then we're showing the sides. Now this sort of detailed knowledge about the knee and about the muscles of the leg isn't always needed when we're drawing a girl, obviously. So sometimes we'll hide parts of this detail or just make them smoother. But in general, it's good to know these details, so we could emphasize them whenever we need. Let's do the other knee. And instantly we find the fascia and add the tibia tuberosity. Here it is. And because there's no weight on this leg, we can kinda unify the form here, creating a box. The side, the front. And then we have this part of the quadricep. And this part sticks out a little bit. We have tendons here. So we have this shape and this shape. And then the lateral muscle of the thigh. Now, imagine a crocodile. Like this. Here it is, right? Why do we need a crocodile here? Because a lot of shadows can be done just as the borders. We have the border on the inner part of the thigh, and then it goes to the sartorius muscle, defining this form. Right? It divides the thigh into upper part and the part on the side. Now we can fill it in. At hatching, and the crocodile became the form. So yeah, it's good to use crocodiles when drawing, and any other visual metaphor that helps us memorize common ways of unifying form. Because one part of the challenge in the drawing is unifying form and not putting too much detail. For example, we could do this shadow separately and this shadow separately, and that would be entirely too much detail. So there's that. Now, since the thigh becomes wider in this part, and this is the one that supports all the weight, we shade this part a little bit and create a border between light and shadow here. We're defining the side of the pelvis. And let's create the shadow that divides the side of the leg. It goes from the eleg bone, like this, and it goes here, creating a nice long curve. Then we shade behind it, and there we have it. Again, we're creating a shadow here from the border. Borders are good, aren't they? Let's show how the tibia gets wider in this part. Because it does get wider here, which is an important line work. And then we have the feet starting. This time we will detail feet a little bit more than in the previous pair of legs. So this is the thumb that we draw like this. And then it starts the proximal phalanx. Here it is. And then we have the bone here. And like this. And the other fingers will unify into one big shape here, and then the little toe and the bone here. And this leg, we already got the silhouette. Let's just define it. Another border here, just two actually, like this. They can be unified, like this. And then the lower plane can be shown. Then we're adding the proximal phalanx of the thumb and the distal phalanx, like this. These are the origin points of the other fingers. And the little toe here. The bone and this can be done like this. Let's add the section to show how the form works here. Now let's deal with this part. Again, creating a border. The lower part of the gastrocnemius and the part behind. There it is. And the side of the tibia. This is its frontal part. So we go like this. And like this. Now let's decrease the strength of the lines here. And unify the form here. This part can be increased if we want to have a form more pronounced and a little bit more feminine. Now this is the second pair of legs, and we'll do the third one from behind. Let's draw legs from behind. Once again, let's create the main divisions. The pelvis. This pelvis will also be tilted, but now we're drawing it from behind. defining the main form, finding the central line of symmetry, and now let's just make a simple silhouette. Again, the knees will be on this line, this guideline, and here we go. The silhouette. The direction of the leg here. The foot will go like this. The knee will be here. And then we have this leg. The knee is upper. Then we have the biceps femoris. And this is the gentle rhythm. Now we can define the silhouette. And this time we need the glutes. So let's add some glutes. In order to do that, we have to first define the iliac crest, and then we add these sections. And kinda draw like this. This is the middle line, and this is the form itself. And here we've got a triangle. And when it started, we can draw the butt. We can use a guideline that goes like this. This is the point where greater trochanter is attached. Remember, pelvis is here, the greater trochanter goes here. And we have the bone close to the surface. Now, this is a line that divides the side from the front. We can instantly shade beyond that line. And the same goes for the curve we were drawing previously. It divides the frontal part and the lower part. But we need to restore some of the line art. Now what we have here is of course the knee, and what we have here is the attachment of the gastrocnemius muscle. So we can instantly draw it like this. And then let's add the soleus muscle. It is very thin here, and it goes wider. Now let's make the silhouette better, and the legs thinner. And we're attaching the other one as well. A tilted oval, like this, that then turns into a soleus muscle. And on the sides we can see the fibula on the outside that goes low, and tibia on the inside that goes high. Now I'm making these legs thinner. And let's create the silhouette of the foot. Okay, here I mean the little toe and the other fingers. Fibula. And the ankle. Now let's work with the form. What we have here is the biceps femoris. It goes like this. As well as the semitendinosus and semimembranosus. They go like this. But we better understand them as one form. And then the main part of the thigh, where we have both the muscles and the fat deposits. So we'll have this spherical shape that will work as the border between an upper face and the lower face of the surface here. And then we have the iliotibial tract on the side. And the form that goes like this. Or rather, like this. As for the gastrocnemius muscle, we will have the lower part and the part on the side, like this. Same with the swirls. But of course we need to round the form here, creating a surface. Again, defining faces here. And creating a connection between gastrocnemius and the muscles of the thigh. Sides, front, tendons, and then we can kind of unify it. Now let's return to the butt. We'll draw a fold here, and then, because it's attached to the side, to the iliotibial tract, we'll draw it like this, going to the side of the leg and creating this bulky form here. Then we're showing the outside planes of the form and shading them. So there we have it. Then we can differentiate the planes a bit. Now we define the main forms, and what I will do from now is just silently render, clean up the form, and make the drawing look good. So sit back and enjoy. And there we have it. 3 drawings of girl legs, female legs, and we studied them from the front in contrapposto, and from the behind in contrapposto. This is the end of today's legs tutorial. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to press the buttons that you can press, especially subscribe. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you will be... please push the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks again to everyone, and bye.